Welcome to this fourth and final part of our practical exercise 6 on selection and placement. Task 6F asks about 3 interview questions and how you would score the answer. And you're going to be using PARS, problem, action, results statements. The perspective of this part will change between you, the hiring managers, the hiring panel, and you, the job searcher, the interviewee. PARS is extremely powerful, and you're going to learn how to use it both as the selecting official and as the interviewee. Here we go. Task 6F. Create 3 interview questions and provide the scoring guidance. What would make sense for your organization and your focus job? To get the conversation started, Table 6.1 in our textbook provides us an overview of permissible and impermissible questions, and I recommend you take a look at it. But I also want to recommend to you is to use the PARS technique to not only create questions and understand how to score them, but to also prepare for you being interviewed. Here we go. PARS. Answer the decision maker's one overarching question. Are you good at the skills that solve our problems? Your marketing pitch to answer this question is, yes, if it worked back then, it'll work great now for you. Here are my examples. We need to develop your related success statement. PARS. Because you have limited space in your resumes, cover letters, applications, and thank you notes, just write your PAR statements. Resume is French for summary. Let's learn how to write powerful PAR statements for your summary, your resume. The most you can ask of a resume is to get you an interview. It's your PAR statements that trigger your interviews. They read your resume and cover letter PARs, and they say, please come in and tell us more what you can do for us. Remember that it is at the interview that it is time for your PARs with examples, the related examples that will get you hired. Let's learn to write PAR statements that trigger those interviews. Let's remind ourselves of the decision maker's one overarching question. Are you good at the skills that solve our problems? Let's begin our answer with understanding the term skill. Skills are described with verb-noun sets. We've learned that sentences are written with a subject, a verb, and an object of the verb, which are nouns. Time for 2 examples. I managed the project. I controlled costs. Now, if we drop the subject I, because you are writing about yourself, what's left are the verb and its object, a noun. So we have our skill descriptions, the verb-noun sets, managed the project, controlled costs. Great, skills. Let's continue. Now that we understand skills, the verb-noun sets, we can start constructing full PAR statements. Remember your marketing pitch? If it worked back then, it'll work right now for you. Been there, done that, do it for you. Here are my examples. We start with the employer's problems. They hire the solutions to their problems. They'll make up their minds, their ways, for their reasons. They're looking for the solutions to their problems, and their problems will be described in job description, skills, language. You're the solution set to their problem set. What are the skills they are looking for? the verb-noun sets. Hold up your left hand and look at your thumb and index finger and say verb-noun. Now make an OK sign by putting your thumb and index forefinger together. Say it again. The employer's problems are verb-noun sets. Now, let your right hand represent the candidate, you, and you're going to learn the 5 components of PARS. Repeat them after me. Wiggle your thumb and say verb in the past tense. Wiggle your index finger and say noun. Now your middle finger and say number. Fourth finger and say results. And finally, little examples. Say it again with me. Verb in the past tense, noun, number, results, and examples. Now make circles with both hands using your thumbs and forefingers and interlock your fingers like links in a chain or railway cars coupling. Tug on them. Feel the connection? Now comes a key learning point. What you have linked together are the verb-noun sets. Link your skills, verb-noun sets, to the employers, the decision makers, skills, their verb-noun sets. If you want a decision maker to make a decision, then give them decision information, skills, the verb-noun sets that link to their problems, plus your numbers, your results, and your examples. Now that we have our 5 PARS elements, let's start developing each element. Some people use the acronym STARS, Situation, Task, Action, Results Statements. I'm partial to PARS because of my successful experience. Problems, actions, results, statements. Note the last 3 elements are the same, action, result statements. I'm just reminding you to focus at the beginning with the employer's problems, their verb-noun sets. Now for the elements. P, the employer's problems, their verb-noun sets. Let's say they need someone to lead teams. A, actions, your actual actions, your verb-noun sets that parallel the employer's problems. Put the verb in the past tense. Led teams. Been there, done that, do it for you. I always get the question, what if I'm doing this in my current job? Results get you hired, so you'll be telling them your past results and accomplishments. Past tense, please. Then we add numbers. Your numbers make you credible. Numbers of people or amount of labor, or size of the organization, time, amounts, time frames, dates, money, money made, used, and saved, things, number of vehicles, items in a warehouse, number of phone lines, square feet of housing, weights of items, things. Continuing with our example of up to 20 people over the last 5 years. Those are the actions. Verb, noun, numbers. Now for the punchline. Results. Are you good at it? Successfully, professionally, carefully, accurately, with minimal cost. Resulting in, and then fill in the blank. Improved customer service, reduced accidents, increased profits. Plus, you may use the phrase which improved, increased, reduced, avoided. Results. So finishing with our example, I'll use the word successfully. So there is your PARS across the bottom of the slide. The employers need someone to lead a team. This candidate has led teams of up to 20 people over the last 5 years successfully. A solution to an employer's problems. PARS. Let's see or feel the impact of PARS. Okay, boss. Now you try it. Make a selection. Who do you pick and why? Remember your boss type questions. How much and how well? Here you are reviewing resumes for an accounting technician. Who is good at the skills that solve your problems? Candidate number one's resume states, I have driven trucks for 8 years, plus completed a course in first aid. Well, thank you, but that's not relevant to my employer problems. Next. Candidate two's resume states, accounting technician for 3 years. Interesting, but how good are they? They didn't say. Candidate three's resume states, successfully served as an accounting technician for 18 months, where I saved over $1,000 by thoroughly reviewing over 150 transactions. So of the three, who did you pick, boss? Number 3, right? Why? This candidate answered your initial selection questions using PARS, relevant verb noun set, numbers, and results. You'll want to make it easy for your selecting officials to select you using your PARS. We'll wrap up this session with PARS, a professional writing and speaking concept to assist you answer their one overarching question. Remember, problem, actions, results statements align to the decision maker's problems. Verb in the past tense, noun, number, results. Examples. Available for download in Blackboard is a handout that consists of these 4 pages. The first 2 is a reminder about PARS, and then 10 basic non-directive questions. And the other 2 pages are more questions that you might consider. Use this as a shopping list as you design your questions for your interview, and you now know how to score them. Did you get a PARS answer? Great. Didn't get a PARS answer? The candidate might be considered, but they get farther down the list. Remember, answer the question. Are you good at the skills, the verb noun sets, that solve the employer's problems? PARS. So for practical exercise task 6F, designing the interview questions and then scoring responses, you're being provided this template. Here's an example. The question is, have you written reports? You would make a PARS, fully relevant answer, a superior answer. I have written numerous reports for this many years that were useful, accurate, and timely, plus fully coordinated. And here are my 3 examples. An okay answer is at least relevant is I have written reports, but we don't know how much and we don't know how well. A really poor answer is non-relevant. I have filled out forms. Good, but it doesn't solve my problems. And then you can make any other notes you want. What would be your 3 questions, and what would be great PARS answer for the superior answers? And then from there you can dial it back on average answers and poor answers. Just a thought, a word to the professional. Take a look at your job description, tasks, and what did you prioritize as the critical tasks that you used in exercise 4B. What was in your 1 ad? What was so important that in limited space you wanted these tasks and knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics to float to the top? So it might be practical exercise 6, but you're going to use the results of job descriptions and specifications in exercise 4B and 5 to help inform and guide what would you think would be your 3 critical questions and what's the PARS answers you're looking for. thought you'd like to know. So there is the guidance for Part 4, and you have completed the YouTube lecture series. Congratulations. It's time to apply the wonderful knowledge you have now gained on the selection and placement, both as part of the hiring team and also being the interviewee, and how they can mirror image one another to align and synchronize. And that's done through both analyzing and using PARS. So there is practical exercise 6 and its 6 supporting tasks. Here are the references I used to create this presentation. Well, Management Human Resources Task Force, over to you. What would be the policies you recommend for selecting and placing your candidates? Time to put the faces in the spaces. I'll see you in the discussion boards. Bye.